Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We encourage you to rise in either body and or spirit in singing our gathering hymn, number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. The words will be on the screen behind me. There are 3 verses. They're all the same, except you replace I with you and with we. Here we go. Welcome to all of you who are in here, out there, and viewing us online. We are so glad that you are here today with us. I'm Catherine Bonner. I'm the Director of Programs and Religious Education here at the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota. I'm also part of the worship team who brings a variety of guest ministers and speakers to our pulpit when our settled minister, Reverend Jay Woolen, is out. Reverend Jay will be back in the pulpit in August. To our visitors, we are happy you are here, and we look forward to getting to know you better during our coffee and conversation hour after our service. You'll find us to be a very chatty bunch. We also would love for you to fill out a visitor form at our welcome table, outside the sanctuary doors, or online at our virtual guest book at www.uusrq.org, located in the top right corner of our homepage. If you do so, we will send you our weekly newsletter, The Contact, which is full of information of things going on at our vibrant congregation and in the community at large. Visitors are invited to our events and our offerings. Our next event is a pasta dinner potluck and game night on Saturday, August 3rd from 5 to 8 p.m. in the evening. No RSVP is needed. Just show up with a pasta dish or a salad to share and a bit of competitive spirit. For those of you who are new to Unitarian Universalism, we are a non-creedal faith where we connect in a loving community to nurture the spirit and help heal the world. We are justice-seeking, transformative, and recognize the interdependence of all of us together. We affirm the inherent dignity and worthiness of each person to be loved, given compassion, and treated with equity. You can learn more about who we are at our website or that of our association at www.uua.org. On the fourth Sunday of each month, our congregation shares our plate collections with a not-for-profit organization in our community that's doing good work that is in line with our values. This month's Share the Plate is for the Safe Children Coalition, and we are pleased to have Sandra Baker. Ellen McLaughlin, who is the director, was not able to make it, but Sandra will come up and tell you a little bit about the coalition and the good works that this program does. Sandra?
Well, if Ellen shows up, maybe she can come and talk about it. But what Cindy and I do as part of the School Link, as part of the coalition, is called School Link. And what we do is they give us the number of baskets they need, and we fill baskets with food for students that are unhoused, and then also we do baskets for families that are just moving into a new home. So the baskets for the children are the students who are unhoused. We put in cereal, stuff that can be done if they're living in a hotel or a motel. And then also for the families that are moving into a home, we add a lot of the cleaning supplies and, things like flour and sugar and stuff. So unfortunately, I don't know the number that School Link serves, but I know we have a lot of students that are unhoused in our Sarasota School District. So hopefully you will be very generous, because the money, it's used right away. I mean, we go get the food from the dollar store, and we fill up the baskets and take them to School Link whenever they need it. So it's like you give the money, we do the shopping, and it goes right to the students. So thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, Sandra. And now I'd like to invite up Aubrey Phillips to give us an update on the work of our Democracy Action Team. Aubrey?
Thank you, Catherine, and good morning, everybody. I'm Aubrey Phillips, Secretary of the Board of Trustees and a coordinator of our Democracy Action Team. I want to thank everybody for being here today, but I especially want to express my deepest gratitude to the dozens of incredible volunteers and sponsors who have stepped up and shown up in our democracy action work so far as a congregation. We've collected thousands of ballot petitions, written hundreds of postcards since we got started. Last Saturday, as you can see in the picture, we came together for Super Saturday, connecting with voters by phone, door to door, and writing letters. This past Wednesday, we kept at it, making phone calls to Florida voters. We've spoken to great people who are very supportive of Yes on 4, and others who were completely unaware of Florida's near total ban on abortion. To the dozens of volunteers who have knocked on doors, made phone calls, wrote to voters, talked to your friends and neighbors, and signed up to work at polling places, thank you. Your dedication ensures that every eligible voter is informed and empowered to participate fully in our democratic process. But our work is far from over. The foundations of democracy, as you all know, require our constant care and renewal. So I'm calling on everyone here today and everyone watching online to get involved. Democracy requires active participation from each of us. Whether you have 5 minutes or 5 hours to spare, there's a role for you in this vital work, no matter your abilities or skills that you bring to it. You can start small. Talk to your friends and family about the importance of voting. Learn about issues facing your community and our state. Attend a school board meeting, as you may have heard Xander speaking about during this morning's forum. And then join us in August. We'll be hosting another Super Saturday where you can choose your own adventure with door-to-door and community canvassing, phone banking, or postcard writing. There will be another Empowering Youth summer session, so please invite any would-be advocate teens. And there's also childcare for the littlest advocates among us. Whatever you choose to do, know that your efforts matter. Every conversation, every newly educated voter, every hour spent volunteering really adds up. Together, we can build a stronger, more inclusive democracy that truly represents each and every one of us. The future of our democracy depends on engaged citizens like each and every one of you. So I ask you, will you join us? Will you stand up for democracy? Yeah, all right. The time to act is now. Thank you all. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, Aubrey. So having guest ministers and speakers allow us to experience worship just a bit differently every week, and today will be no exception. I'm excited to introduce to you Jeanay Johnson. Jeanay was born in Los Angeles, but was raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. She has dedicated over 15 years to working with children. Her diverse experience spans childcare, visual arts, spiritual development, journalism, law enforcement, communications, and civic engagement. She passionately supports the emotional intelligence and mental growth of children, fostering their creativity and innovation. Since 2017, she has been actively involved with UU of St. Petersburg. Currently, she is a fourth-year seminary student at Star King School for the Ministry, pursuing a master's degree in divinity. Upon graduation, she will also receive a certificate in psychedelic justice and companioning. Very interesting. And we look forward to hearing from Jeanay today. So now but before we have Jeanay come up, and she is also here with her daughter Jaide, let us welcome back to our stage Rivera for our opening music. Bree?
Can read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, and they don't plan. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the world. words that you could not find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life in arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines, yeah. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way, no. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can fix the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your love begins, the rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten.
Thank you. Jade.
Good morning. Our opening reading today is number 471 from our hymnal. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and the service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Arranged by L. Griswold Williams.
As we light the chalice, please join me now in affirming our new UU value of equity, which is printed in your order of service and will be displayed on the screen behind me. As we light this chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, we declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. Justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, formerly our second principle, points us towards something beyond inherent worth and dignity. It points us to the larger community. It gets at collective responsibility. It reminds us that treating people as human beings is not simply something we do one-on-one, but something that has systemic implications and can inform our entire cultural way of being. Thank you.
Thank you, Sawyer, and thank you, Jade. So, today's story is Wild Feelings, written and illustrated by David Milgrim. And I have a special sound effect, so I have to get that queued up. Hold on. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay. Whee! Do you ever feel as stubborn as a mule? Go to bed. I don't wanna. Or as chicken as a chicken? Wanna pet the nice doggy? Ah! How about as clumsy as an ox? Oops. You probably do. Do you sometimes feel as sad as a lost kitten in the rain? Or as small as a mouse? How about totally and completely alone? Oh! Sorry to the dogs in the audience. Or as daffy as a duck, or positively batty. Do you sometimes get really, really, really mad and you feel totally out of control and you don't even know why? Of course you do. Everyone does. You see it all around you because it's only natural. It is natural to have wild feelings. We all do. Just imagine if we didn't have wild feelings. We would all be like robots with no emotions. I should have said that. We would all be like robots with no emotions. Or, if you were the newer AI version, you would be imitating human emotions and feelings. Oh, this is a sad story. I must cry now. Things would be very boring with no ups or downs and everything the same all the time. There are no good emotions or feelings or bad emotions or feelings. They are just different. And each is as important depending on what is happening. And our job is to learn which emotion or feeling is the best one for that time and place. It's a big job and one that we update for our entire lives. So now I'd like to invite any children or youth to join me in the West Wing, where we'll be focusing on finding balance in our emotions and our life. And if you're new, no worries, just come with me and I'll show you the way. Thank you.
Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty stinging clear, and I can't help but ask myself how much I let the fear take the wheel and steer. It's driven me before, and it seems to have a very haunting mass appeal. But lately I begin to find that I should be the one behind the wheel. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open eyes, yeah. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I'll be there. So if I decide to waver my chance to be one of the hive, will I choose water over wine and hold my own and drive? It's driven me before, and it seems to be the way that everyone else gets around. But lately I'm beginning to find that when I drive myself, my light it's found. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open eyes, yeah. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I'll be there. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Will you choose water over wine? Hold your will and drive. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open eyes, yeah. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Thank you, Bree. It was lovely. We'll now center ourselves in a responsive reading, number 655, Change Alone is Unchanging. The words will be on the screen. Your part is in yellow. Whosoever wishes to know about the world must learn about its particular details.
Knowledge is not intelligence.
In searching for the truth, be ready for the unexpected.
Change alone is unchanging.
The same road goes both up and down.
The beginning of the circle is also its end.
Not I, but the world says it. All is one.
And yet everything comes in season.
Let us now have a minute of silence to reflect before centering in song.
Good morning, good morning. I had no idea how many people are in here because I'm sitting in the front. And I look, I'm like, oh, hi. What is emotional intelligence? When we hear the words emotions, some of us would correlate the idea of what emotions can personify, basing it off of the second installment of Inside Out, which you see behind us, which I may add has done a magnificent job in illustrating what emotions can look like. The other aspect some of us may assume by default is being emotional. We have all at some point come across the saying that men can't express emotions. It makes them soft. Or that women are too emotional, they can't think. But when we consider what emotions are, do we limit them to our comfort and yet limited lack of understanding as to what they are? Or are we open to learn and feel the extent of what an emotion is and represents? Here we are in the year 2024. Even saying that out loud is really strange. And if the last decade hasn't shifted our emotions, certainly the last 4 has done more than we ever thought it can do as a collective. Who were we prior to 2020? It doesn't matter. Who are we today in the second half of this particular season of 2024? The beautiful thing is we get to decide who we are. People outside of ourselves will always personify their own perspective and or experience of attributes of we, but we are who we are. We always had the power of choice in who we are and how we choose to navigate ourselves and everyone else around us. Now, the word choice is a doozy because we can witness situations, we can be witness to situations where we were faced with choice or mistake. What is the difference between the two? One is deliberately made, despite the consequences or ignoring them altogether. We've been there. We've definitely seen kids do it. Don't touch that. They touched it. It was a choice, right? And they found out the hard way. And that lesson continues as we've grown. Or even through manipulative tactics for gain. You know, the kids that like to scream just a little bit louder just to get that piece of candy that you already said no to. That was a choice. We're being finessed. Or heroic gain, making the hard choice to save someone. Then we have mistakes, where a choice was made without conscious thought of the consequences that may arise. We weren't aware. It was just an honest mistake. Either way, we're empowered and enabled to do both. A part of what emotional intelligence encompasses is also to be aware of our own internal filters. We all have origin stories. Like, I'm sure somebody's read a comic between Marvel and DC. Superman, he lost his whole family. What did he choose to do? He chose to become a hero. Sometimes it can take the villain route. That happens. But that is just an example of how we use our emotions to justify how we navigate in this world thereafter. How we choose to carry on during this time, in this reality, this realm, season to season, it's up for us to decide how we choose to treat one another, how we choose to behave and react to one another. Now, a choice is being presented here. Like when you're at the checkout at Starbucks grabbing your double shot espresso latte with shots of goat's milk, vegan unicorn whipped cream, a dash of raw cane sugar, and a zest of freshly squeezed lemon. Nobody does that, I hope not. You are presented to click the dollar amount of, tipping your server. Now, today's day and age is getting really excessive, but my point here is you're given that choice on what you would like to provide for what they gave for you. So Sunday service, I like to think of it as enjoying your fresh cup of coffee, tea, or water, whatever your indulgence is. So now is the time of the service where you are encouraged to be as generous as you can. For those online or those here on your cell phone, there is a link to donate in the description of the YouTube video or on our website right under the description of today's service. Let this sacred time begin.
Thank you, Christine. That was beautiful. Our Whole System by Maria Mitchell. Small is our whole system compared with the infinitude of creation. Brief as is our life compared with the cycles of time. We are so tethered to all by the beautiful dependencies of law, that not only the sparrow's fall is felt to the uttermost bound, but the vibrations set in motion by the words that we utter reach through all space, and the tremor is felt through all time. Bree Rivera again.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make our heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain, I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. Missing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. I'm in too deep. Say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home, but there's a fire burning in my bones. I still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain, I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. Thank you.
All right, net service. Bree, thank you. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm like, how do you follow that? Now, full transparency, the first time I came up here, I was extremely nervous, so I breezed through. And then I lost 5 minutes. I'm like, crap, I moved really fast. But that was my emotion in that moment, my nerves. I was nervous. Vulnerability is also an emotion as well. Being able to just be transparent in your experience of being a human being. Who all has pets? Okay, so they tell you exactly when they're hungry. They tell you exactly when they want to be loved, and that's all the time. They tell you exactly when they want to be in your shadow, that's all the time. You try to close the bathroom door, they'll let you know, no, I want to come in. They're showing it all the time, they don't hide it. I think one of the most beautiful aspects of being human is being able to express ourselves, truly and fully. Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty stinging clear. I can't help but ask myself how much I let the fear take the wheel and steer. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. When you hear your favorite song play on the stereo, only you can feel how much that impacts you. Say a song that you haven't heard in 30 years plays, and you remember exactly where you were when you first heard it. No one can translate that feeling, but you know what that is. It's almost like the English language is limited in even being able to translate, wow, this song, I remember I was playing on the playground and this song started to play on the car passing by, I just wanted to hear it again. And then when you heard it again, it's like, wow, that's my song. Whether we live on a flat surface or a globe, we are connected to some form of covenant that is innately embedded in our essence. No one has to tell you that you shouldn't steal, you just innately know it. You even feel kind of guilty taking the pins from Amscot, but it's there. The same thing about lying. This is what we tell kids, don't lie. You can lie, but you know what you're doing is wrong. You can feel it. And you still find ways to justify the reasoning, to give the lie meaning, to add to the story to maintain it. And over time, it begins to consume. It begins to consume because that's not the truth of it. The truth wants to come out. And the bigger the lie, the more it yearns to be corrected. I have had plenty of friends come out of the closet, and when they did, they felt, I can just see the emancipation. Just like, finally I can be me. I'm like, you could have been you this whole time. The Buddhists follow the words of Buddha, speaking about the 5 mindfulness trainings that are a real practice of love and compassion. Talking about protecting life, being mindful, being aware. There are a plethora of things. We're also aware of Hinduism, the given name, originating out of India, regarding the chakra system and its connection from our earthly bodies to our spiritual selves, with spinning vortexes of energies that connect our emotional experiences that have marked us. Again, like what Inside Out explains with the core memories. Has anybody seen Inside Out? Okay, for those who didn't raise your hands, I strongly encourage it. That might be a kid's movie, but there's a lot of points that they really make for us. And I guarantee you're gonna shed some tears. The kids will look at you like, why are you crying? But you're gonna understand it because you're gonna have that point of reference, that understanding that they don't have yet. So for them, it's entertaining. But for us, it's heartfelt, it's meaningful. It gets you right here. Now about those chakras, there's 7 of them. Our root connects to our familial dynamics, the sense of security. Our sacral connects to our passions. Our solar plexus connects to our internal willpower and our abilities to believe in ourselves. Now already with those first 3, I know there's some thoughts that came to mind. If only those thought bubbles like popped up in here, I'm like, yep, there it goes, there it goes. Our heart chakra dealing with the love dynamics in our lives, both internally felt, like I expressed about the music, and externally given when you give someone a hug and you see that they're about to cry and you just let them know, do you need a hug? And for a moment they may hesitate, but then they realize, no, actually I really need this. And chest to chest, you can feel that warmth. And you know your heart is giving an energy that is intended to help them feel better. You might can't fix the problem, but in that moment you can help them feel better. And that expression and vulnerability is important to this human experience. We are not perfect. And we can't expect other people to behave how we behave as individuals. It's our choice. Then we have our throat chakra. Speaking of our inner truths and speaking up for ourselves. How many times have we had to speak up for ourselves? Let's take it back to childhood. Definitely had to speak up at one point or another. And it's almost like you're forced to do it, but you know if you don't do it, you're gonna go home and think about what you could have said, what you would have said differently. You'll act it out in the mirror. Yes. Then our third eye, then we start getting into metaphysics a bit. Our third eye that connects us to our inner knowing. What does that mean, that inner knowing? We all get that gut feeling when something's off. The pineal gland connecting to the third eye. We've heard this somewhere. We have it on the pole here. But another example I'd like to use is this show. It's a children's show called The Avatar. And again, it's a children's show intended for children, but they did a magnificent job of providing tangible examples of each of these chakras in this children's show. You'd be surprised what they're putting out now. The Egyptians are familiar with the 42 laws of Ma'at, which also encompass some aspects that are seen within the 10 Commandments. And with UUism, there are the 8 principles, now 8 principles, that create the framework that we do our best to abide by and to follow. It's there, it's written, but somewhere in here we also innately know this. We just came together and agreed this is what we want to have seen and displayed for the world to see. Oh, let's vote and add another one. There is a pattern around the world that reframes the essence of our being, that touches our emotions and those around us. When we wake up in the morning, sometimes a bit late, we rush. And what often happens when we are en route and we're rushing? What happens? Can somebody say something? You forgot something. What's the big one? You catch every light. Every single light known to man is red, and you're like, geez Louise, why? And move. The frequency that we carried leaving the house, that frequency of frustration, anger, is staggered, it's stuck. So we inadvertently created this path of more frustration with the repetition of lights. During our drive, we exude frustration, like I just did that example with the horn, with the drivers in front of us and around us, blaming them for the traffic we're stuck in. Automatically, we've already separated ourselves from that reality. We are the traffic. Hello? How the cars on the road, it's traffic. Everybody's a part of traffic. But in that moment, because we left frustrated, we are separated. I'm stuck in traffic. You are a part of it. Everybody's stuck. But maybe, just maybe, if we left just a little earlier, how would that change? We fail to recognize the connection between ourselves and everyone around us because of the idea of separation. Us humans, we are really good at creating some labels and separating ourselves further and further and further and further. I don't think dogs care that there's a Chihuahua versus a Pit Bull. Well, maybe the Chihuahua, that was a horrible example. But I don't think they care much at all. Just like, hey, you're a dog, I'm a dog, let's go play. Kids certainly don't. You're like, hey, you're a kid, I'm a kid, let's go play. But somewhere along the line, we start throwing all these things around to help us feel better because we need to have some definition to make us feel something, to make us feel connected. And that helps, that works, but sometimes it creates separation. So again, if we leave early, we have time to take the scenic route, time to enjoy the view of the sun just before it grows smaller and hotter. God knows it gets hotter in that sky. Or even have an additional moment to admire the cloud formations that formed after the night's rainfall. Now, I know y'all have seen, we live in Florida, St. Pete, Sarasota, we live on a peninsula. We can see the sun rise and sunset. Do we even acknowledge that sometimes? Anybody from the Midwest, the West Coast, up north, you only see it on one side. We get to see both. And beaches are on both sides. But how often when our minds are going a million miles a minute, do we stop and ask ourselves, what in the heck am I even thinking about? And it's funny, the moment you ask yourself that, the thoughts just stop. And it's just like, oh, it's me this whole time. It's just me. And then you hear the chatter of your right hemisphere trying to say something, your left hemisphere disagree, and the diencephalon try to merge between the two. I'm a massage therapist too, anatomy is my favorite subject. But it's here. How do we center ourselves? You can know, but knowledge isn't it. It's the experience of it, that wisdom that comes. Not everybody has it. Common sense ain't common no more, we definitely know that. But the power of being aware of your emotions brings you to center so you can fully be present in the now while navigating everyone else's feelings and emotions. So when you are happy, what do you express? I am happy. When you are upset, you express, I'm upset. In truth, you are experiencing a temporary state of being that has just ever so shifted your equilibrium to reflect an experience that you have reacted to. So remember when I spoke about filters, that we all have them? Our traumas also shape those filters and mold on how we choose to react to emotions. How we choose to react is our responsibility as individuals. We can say, they triggered me. But who does the trigger actually belong to? Uh-oh. It's mine. It's like, oh, accountability, ouch. No one likes that. But we definitely could tell a child, hey, you apologize. But adults, do we do that very well? What inner work have we done on ourselves, for our loved ones around us, to recognize the how, what, and why those triggers exist in the first place? So then if that happens again, if the situation presents itself again, how can we respond differently? Right now, wherever you are, in any point in time, you are feeling an emotion. Can you identify it? Do you feel better when you can identify it? Going back to the example of music, that feeling that you feel when you hear a song you haven't heard in 30 years, you almost can't even put a word to it. Some people will say euphoria or just bliss. But sometimes we don't have the words to express it, but we know it's something that we feel, and it's still truth. Extend patience with yourself as you learn to feel your emotions. These elements that connect our physical selves to our spiritual selves. And also be patient with kids, especially kids. They're getting inundated with so many hormones, they don't know what this stuff is. They don't even know what hormones are. They just know that things are happening, and they're just them. I have a 12-year-old, help me. And I'm a teacher. Jesus, take the wheel. But their baselines are being established in this now, this present moment. It's being established. Their traumas and triggers, they're being made now. And sometimes, whether we're aware of it or not, we are playing a part in those things. They watch how we handle ourselves, and they watch how we manage our joys and frustrations around other people. Guess who they are watching all the time? Uh-oh, accountability again. In closing, whether we believe in an all-knowing and all-creating being that created Adam and Eve, or Shiva and Brahma foraging the soils from the primordial waters of this realm into our world, or the entire world resides on the back of a turtle, we share this sacred space at the same time. That alone is fantastic. We are experiencing quantum reality in this singular point of time all the time. Each and every one of you will remember today, and each and every one of you will talk about this day from your perspectives. And all of you will have your own experiences. And when you share that from your memory, the other person that is listening is receiving it from their memory. And when they repeat it, it's going to be something different. It's never ending. It continues on and on. So here we are, universally having a multiversal experience with one another every time we join together in this space. This is my first time here, but every time you join together in this space. What will you do differently with how you navigate your realities? Will you, instead of reacting angrily to a person that is angered, ask them if they are okay, but not out of pity, but really asking them, are you okay? You ask them because they're experiencing an emotion that you are not at the moment, but you know what it feels like because you have before. So instead of answering when somebody asks you, how are you doing? Our default answer is often, I'm fine, or I'm good. What else can you say? I like to say, I'm here. And for some odd reason, people take that as like, oh, it'll be okay. Like, no, I'm here. That's how I'm doing. I'm here, I'm physically here in this space. I'm here because here is as present as you can be in any given moment. Here is where you always all at every given point, here. Our mind can wander, our hearts can think, our gut can provide insight, but our vessel is here. So how can we center ourselves every day when people ask us how we are doing? We can answer, I am here. You are here. And here is a beautiful place to be. Thank you. Have you ever tried to run away from a reflection, from the sight of whom you actually are, away from what people postulate and what they choose to see? Based off of many choices of we forget that the powers of creation reside beneath our wings, but we proceed in despair, in pain and loss when things do not go our way or as planned. Sometimes something larger, more intricately designed is at the greater work for the greater good. That greater good may still not fully fulfill our satisfaction as we forget that we are spirits occupying human vessels in this space. The energy we breathe from the air around us is giving us more time to find the highest frequency that exists within us all. See, love. Love is the binding element of nature. Love is that spark in the clouds at night that exude energy into the skies. Love is what we feel when we wake and see the sunrise, as each moment of each day gives us a new opportunity to seek the power of creation from within. We are always tested of our will and patience. We each have something within our hearts and minds that creation gave us to exemplify and to return to the divine. We must trust the faith in our stride and always move in the way of love and light. Thank you for coming today.